Okay, here we go. Okay, I restarted the video again because it's silly things like this. Okay, you have the end of the carrot, and some people would die if you threw that away because they would actually eat that, and so I just have to realize that everybody's going to do everything different. So this is just my way of doing it. And I don't want to upset anyone by throwing this carrot away. I do give these to the chickens, or something else I can do with those. I don't want to waste food, but at the same time, I don't want to risk this creating a mold in my bins. And so that's kind of the reason that I like to throw these away. So to restart the video, I don't really know what can benefit who, and so I think the best thing to do is just to start filming what I do. And today I was going to talk about carrots, the food that I prefer to use. And I get these big 5-pound bags from H-E-B, and they're organic. And I have used a lot of the regular carrots. I've used the baby carrots. My daughter is laughing behind me. I've used the baby carrots. I've used the non-organic carrots, but when you get the non-organic carrots, they tend to have a lot of this extra stuff on them. So when I get the organic ones, I can basically just run my hands over them with some bottled water. I don't use my sink water because we don't have a osmosis or filtration system set up yet, and so I don't want the chlorine or any kind of chemicals on them because they can be sensitive, and that could be something added to hurt the worms or the very tinies when they're first emerging. So anyway, so I use the organic. When we are talking about food, I have tried and played with all the other things. A lot of people have, say they can basically use, styrofoam. We're going with things like, that can help break down things for our universe. So I am going to go back to something that I know, which is the carrot. It seems to work really well as far as not molding, and I do have to change it out more often, I think. I can't talk and cut carrots apparently at the same time. I do have to change these out more often than say like a potato or a sweet potato, because I feel like those held moisture longer, which can be good and bad, because again, you don't want any moisture in your bins unless you're just small and you have just one container, and obviously are going to change that all the time. But if you get to having multiple bins, then you want something that you know isn't going to be, you're going to have to not worry about. So these are actually really large pieces. Probably going to get a different cutting system now that I'm growing. It used to be not really a big deal to grab a few carrots, cut them up, and feed them, but now it's becoming a lot of food. I have these guys here with me, and the reason they're not running to these carrots, I just noticed, I don't think they're happy that I actually even took them out. These guys are probably getting ready to pupate. And so I put them out here thinking they were gonna just cover the carrot, but they're actually wanting to go hide and stay still so that they can turn. And so we probably have to get some smaller ones if we want to see them all run to the carrots, right? I'll bring out some little babies, and these guys I'm sure will want to eat this. So I've tried to think about how boring these videos are going to be, and really who's going to watch them, and besides my parents and family. But I just want to say that I think that it really helped me. There was a time when I was going from just a few mealworms, and then it was like my first, they turned, and then it was like, oh my goodness, I'm a beetle. And I think if I hadn't been able to turn on some other, shows and actually see people with their own hands working with them, and what they do, and their processes, it's kind of like, do you want to keep going? Do I really, what do I do? Kind of thing. So I appreciate all of the YouTubers who have, and big companies especially, who have taken the time out to video their process. Midwest, I think mealworms are the big ones. Space something is another one I just found recently. But it really helps to watch. Just, it can be boring, but you can, you know what, there's also like these bright lights shining on them, so I didn't think about that either. So they probably just want to go high. But I'm going to work on getting another camera. This is obviously a very immature setup here. I don't have any pictures on the wall yet. I literally just have started with these bins. And no, I did not go and buy all of these at the same time. I literally started with one that I got on Marketplace, and it was 15 bucks. And then because in the stores you saw for like 49, 69, so the crazy price. And so I got a couple that way that I had found, and then I found a coupon at one of our craft stores and got it for $29, and then I had another coupon. So anyway, I've accumulated these. They're not just, I didn't just go and buy all those because they are expensive. Because now I have to start thinking, which just literally decided, what am I gonna do now? Because I originally started getting the mealworms for the chickens, and the chickens would eat an entire tray if I let them at once. And so I tended to just save them, and then I ended up with too many, and then I fed them all, and then, so that's the hardest part about raising mealworms, is the cycle. It's pretty easy when you just have one container or one bin or one little aquarium that you're starting. But then you get to where it's the cycles and the breeding cycles, and if you and how big you want to get it and how much you're going to feed and all of that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is deciding what I want to do now. Just decided that I would get on a camera and start sharing what we do here. I think yesterday, the day before. And so this is my first real video, I guess, besides the little shorts that I made. And thankfully I have an awesome nephew who does his own YouTube, and actually more shows than just YouTube. Eric Anderson with Worst Impressions, and he hooked me up with some lighting. So I don't know how the lighting is. I don't know if it's working correctly, but thank you for giving me those lighting situations, and they're just great. Worst Impressions, and his wife Maddie, she runs Wonky Whiskers, which is a fabulous rescue for cats, for like catch and release and helping everybody spay and neuter their pets. And so we've got some awesome family there, but I saw them. So I'm going to get off of this video so that I can get onto a different subject and, you know, just kind of finish these carrots up and then get them ready to feed, and then figure out how I can show you each bed and so you can see me feed them. So, all right, y'all have a great day. Bye.